Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on when you watch this, whenever you watch this. Keith Jogananis back at you with you again here inside the beautiful Access Tuolumne studios for another NorCal Sports TV weekly recap show. Week 3 of the high school football season is donezo. It is time now for Week 4 as we get set for a whole new set of great football games at the high school level. We can't wait to bring them you right here on NorCal Sports TV. Week 3 was great. We had teams playing each other that were both 500. We had some teams that were undefeated playing each other. And two of those teams were Monta Vista and San Leandro. The San Leandro Pirates at 2-0, Monta Vista at 1-0, but they didn't play in Week 3. So Monta Vista with a bye looking to see if they could play at their A game with a little rest, or would the rust play a factor in how Monta Vista came out in this one? Well, we have the footage. That's why they play the game. We go to Monta Vista right now. Monta Vista and San Leandro from beautiful Monta Vista High School. Look at that smoke. Look at those jerseys. Somebody's O has to go in this contest. 2-0 San Leandro. 1-0 Monta Vista. Let's get it done. First quarter, Jack Stewartson back to pass. The man can pass, but he can also run. A 23-yard rush right down to the 2-yard line, and it was on 4th down to boot. So Monta Vista gambling. Would it pay off? We find out in a couple of seconds. Stewartson back to pass. Looking for somebody. He's looking for the crib. He finds Gavin Cribb in the process of doing so. 2-yard touchdown reception. Monta Vista up 7-0. Our next action comes all the way down the line, the third quarter, 1:05 mark. Back to pass, Demetrius Freeney in traffic, intercepted by Jacob Oliphant. Jacob Oliphant, far from done. Jacob Oliphant, still going. Jacob Oliphant to the house. 100 football yards, touchdown, interception return. Oliphant makes it a double-digit score for Monta Vista. They missed the extra PAT, 13-0. Then in the fourth quarter, another 4th down. Oliphant showed you what he can do on defense. He showed you what he can do on offense. A diving touchdown catch. And just like that, 20-0. And so Monta Vista wins the battle of the undefeateds against San Leandro. And that is going to be the final in this one. And man, we all thought that maybe Monta Vista would come out rusty. They didn't do anything of that sort. 20-0. Beating San Leandro. And you talk about why Monta Vista was so successful. I mean, Stewartson had a good game. 13 of 22, 155 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 INTs, but you can always work on those kinds of things. But look at this receiving core, how balanced it is. Connor Shea, 4 receptions, 58 yards. Nate Rushina, 3 receptions, 55 yards. Jacob Oliphant, on defense and on offense. On offense, 2 receptions only, 28 yards, but one of them was a touchdown that helped seal the deal pretty much. But there's something interesting in here that I think really no one is highlighting that I saw in the local papers and local media. You talk about it. Obviously, Monta Vista in total yardage, 196 yards compared to 163 yards for San Leandro. But look at the time of possession battle. San Leandro, 31 minutes and 6 seconds compared to Monta Vista, who only had the football for 16 minutes and 54 yards. That literally, folks at home, is a 15-minute difference in between time of possession from the time San Leandro had it to when Monta Vista had it. That's a whole quarter of football and some change. And listen, San Leandro did not have their best quarterback play today. Both quarterbacks that played in this one, Demetrius Freeney only had 2 passes. He was 0 of 2, an interception, which ended up being the pick 6 returned by Oliphant. And then D. Bryant, 11 of 17, 109 yards, 1 interception. San Leandro shot themselves in the foot early with this game with turnovers, and it just blossomed from there because Monta Vista was able to take those opportunities and turn them into points. And when you're playing high-stakes games like these, where the magnitude of the game is so fierce, you have got to be able to, A, make sure you don't turn the football over, and B, when you get chances to put it in the end zone, you put it in the end zone. So in the battle of the undefeateds, Monta Vista coming out on top 20-0 against San Leandro, who falls to 2-1. Monta Vista goes to 2-0 on the season. Another interesting game for a whole number of reasons was Tracy and Turlock. Look at the similarities between Tracy and Turlock. Both teams' mascots are the Bulldogs. Both teams' high school names start with the letter T. And both teams are 1-1. They didn't play on Friday night. No, that's boring. That's in the past. This is the 21st century, people. We live in the social media age. They played on a Thursday night. It's spicy. It's different. It's unorthodox. We like it. We go to the tape. Tracy and Turlock Thursday night. We picked this one up at the 8:57 mark of the first quarter. Back to pass. Logan Fife looking deep, looking for it all. He gets it all. He goes to the Pope. Trevor Pope II, 25 yards on 4th down. Fife 11 for 32, 2 touchdowns, 3 INTs. 7-0 Tracy. But just like that, Turlock back. Anthony Frias, he's definitely free all right. 80-yard touchdown to the crib. But Tracy gets a break because Turlock misses the extra point, so they keep the lead for the time being, 7-6. 4:39 mark in the first quarter. Back to pass, Fife again, but he makes a mistake here, and it's Oscar Cruz getting the INT. Big turnover for Turlock because Tracy was moving. 2:48 mark of the first quarter. 2nd and 6 now, deep in Tracy territory. Back to pass, Mr. Brock Paisley. But he's going to hand it off to Frias again. 2nd touchdown for Anthony Frias in this contest so far. But right back again, Turlock. They miss another extra point, so it's still 12-7. But Brock Paisley doesn't hand it off this time. He's going to unleash the cannon, and the cannon pays off. Right side, he's got his man Bullock for the touchdown. 19-7 Turlock at that point. Tracy letting this one get out of hand early and fast. They need some points on the board, but they can't get it. And instead, it's Turlock going deep again. Big bomb down the sideline to the 20-yard line. And listen, the offense for Turlock was just going great all game. 5:18, 3rd and 8 now. Paisley rolls right, looking, going to keep it himself. But watch this. Boom goes the dynamite. Paisley trucks over the defender and puts a rushing touchdown on the board to boot. And then on the fake, you see it right here. There's a reason that Turlock's offense was so deadly. They keep getting big plays down the field. Another big run. Man, Turlock 26-7 at this point. No touchdown this time. They'll settle for a nice field goal. And they'll knock it in from 32 yards. Angel knocks through the field goal. At that point, it is now 29-7 Turlock. This game out of hand fast. 9:55 mark of the third quarter. Paisley in the gun. Going to hand it up the middle to Frias. And Frias free once again, you betcha. The man has skills, people. Another touchdown, and that pretty much all but wraps it up at that point. 36-7, 8:45 in the third quarter. 3rd and long. Fife in the shotgun. Fife looking over the middle. Intercepted again. Logan Fife cannot buy a break. It's another INT. It's another Turlock turnover. Third quarter, again, 8:33 mark. Paisley hands it up the middle, and this time breaking free into the line. It's going to be Mr. Pena, 48 yards, touchdown, 43-7 Turlock. But you got to give Tracy credit. They finished the game, and they did their best, and they do indeed finish this game on a great note. Down the left side, some running there. So you got to give Tracy credit. They're down 43-7. A bunch of turnovers that just plagued them. You see another fumble. They almost lose that football. 3:27 mark. Finally, Logan Fife. It's Volbrick right up the middle on the slant route. And that is how this one is going to end at the 3:25 mark. So, Turlock on Thursday night literally blitzes Tracy High School. And this was a game from start to finish where Turlock just came out and played their best football. Yeah, they got turnovers, but you have to give Paisley credit. He did it with his arm, he did it with his legs, and he really just played a complete game. Paisley only attempted 11 passing attempts during this contest. 5 of 11, 147 yards, 1 touchdown, but really the player of the game, Anthony Frias. 9 rushing attempts, 138 yards on the ground, 3 touchdowns. His longest run, that one in the first quarter, his first touchdown, 80 yards to the house. And now Turlock's in a position, 2-1. They're going to play Sheldon at home. We're going to have that game for you here on NorCal Sports TV, so make sure you are locked in. I'll be there that night. Hopefully you'll be joining us either at Turlock or on your mobile device or laptop or on YouTube at NorCal Sports TV. We're going to have a whole bunch of games, and we're going to have a whole lot more on this NorCal Sports Weekly Recap Show when we come back right after this. We welcome you back here to the NorCal Sports TV weekly recap show. Keith Joganas back here with you. And you just got done seeing a couple of our games before the first commercial break. Monta, Vista, and San Leandro, and Turlock and Tracy on that Thursday night affair. A couple other teams that were at 500 looking to get to over 500 were both 1-1, Somerville, and 1-1, Ripon Christian. Both teams have played a little inconsistent to start this season, but when they're good, they're really good. Somerville against Galt in Week 2 did an excellent job of making sure they didn't turn the football over. They played great running football, and Jaden Brocchini did a great job of taking care of the football and using his legs to create big plays. Would they be able to reciprocate the same kind of energy and effort against Ripon Christian? That's why we have the tape. We go to the highlights. Somerville and Ripon Christian going to pick this one up at the 10:36 point of the first quarter. 3rd and 7. Back to pass is Lingley for Ripon Christian. Looking deep. He's got Vieling. 57 yards. It's a house call. Again, that pass defense for Somerville gets burned for a big touchdown there. 7-0 Ripon Christian. 8:42, 4th and 12. Deep inside their own territory. Somerville, bad punt right here. But they catch a break because it hits Ripon Christian's players, and as a result, Somerville gets the football right back. 6:10 mark of the first quarter. 1st down. Jaden Brocchini, play breaks down, bad pass there into triple coverage, and it's intercepted. He hadn't thrown an interception the whole game against Galt. He's already got one in the first quarter against Ripon Christian. Under a minute to go. Ripon Christian back at the doorstep, looking to add more points. This time, they're not going to throw it. It's going to be Sean McGovern right up the middle for a 5-yard scamper into the end zone. McGovern, 17 carries, 84 yards, 2 touchdowns at that point. Under 10 seconds to play in the first quarter. Somerville at 2nd and long now. Brocchini in the shotgun. It's a low snap. He evades the rush, rolls out to his right, fires it downfield, and he's got a man right there at the 40-yard line. So now 4th and 13. Somerville has to go for it here. They're trying to put some points on the board. Sean Leveros, known for taking some chances. He lets his quarterback run. Man, can he. Still going. And he gets a big-time first down, Brocchini does. And that makes it 1st and 5 at the goal line. 7:36 to go in the second quarter. Man, you talk about Nicholas Veach. He is the workhorse of this team. Veach into the end zone, bobbing and weaving out of traffic. 14 carries, only 15 yards. His only touchdown coming right there. 2:16 to play at this point in the second quarter. Ripon Christian looking to tack on some extra points, and this time they're going to go for a field goal, and it's right down Broadway. 17-7 Ripon Christian at that point. Under 2 minutes to play after the Terpsma 28-yard field goal. Jaden Brocchini trying to illustrate something here. 1:27 to play. Brocchini looks to his left. Intercepted. Just a bad read there. His 2nd interception of the game. And right on cue, it's Lingley making them pay. He dumps it off to Mr. Grons for 25 yards. It's a house call, touchdown on the left side. They missed the kick, though, so no PAT. 23-7, Ripon Christian. They're right back at the doorstep with 6:38 to play in the third quarter. Back to pass, run under the center is Lingley. Dumps it to the right side. Gets that play down to about the 2-yard line at that point. Ripon Christian looking to put the nail in the coffin early. So what do? They do what Somerville's used to doing. They go and make a little misdirection. They go right to the run game. Bam, right back up the middle is McGovern for another touchdown. Sean McGovern, have a day, young man. But Somerville not going down without a fight. They're looking to add some magic here. 1:30 to play. Brocchini, it's a play action fake. Rolls to his right, looking for something to happen. Takes off and runs again. Gets a couple there. Jaden Brocchini, not his best running day, only 95 yards. That's a lot of quarterbacks' good days running the football. But he's still on his feet, and he's still moving. And Brocchini's still trying to make something happen. He's going to take it in, makes the linebacker miss, goes right up the middle for a touchdown there. 30-13 at that point. You're thinking under 5 minutes to go. Ripon Christian's trying just to kill some clock. They're trying. Sean McGovern won't let him because he's going to the house after a flat catch for 34 yards and a touchdown. At that point, makes it 36-13. So, just like that, Ripon Christian takes care of business against Somerville. And really, everyone around the area assumed after Somerville pulled off what looked to be an upset to many people against Galt, they would come out and play hard-nosed football. Everything that worked against the Galt Warriors the week before just did not work the week later against Ripon Christian. You talk about it. Where was the running game? I mean, sure, Brocchini had 56 yards and a touchdown on 16 carries, but they you got to give Ripon Christian credit. They held Veach to 15 yards and a touchdown. Titus Shirley only got 5 yards, and he was a big factor. And again, for Somerville, it's another case of just the passing of defense that they have, letting them down once more. Lingley, 13 of 19, 227 yards, 3 touchdowns through the air. Big play after big play. Somerville continues to get burned in the defensive game when it comes to that air attack. And if they're going to go anywhere this season, they have got to get that shored up because they are getting killed every single week by big passing plays. But I give Jaden Brocchini and his team credit. They did not go down without a fight. And Sean Leverosa's teams, win, lose, or tie, they are always going to fight you to the end. So big ups to Somerville. Ripon Christian now 2-1. Somerville now 1-2. And you know, there's a couple of teams that were looking to get to over 500. Escalon, they've been over 500. They got to the doorstep of a section championship last year. They lost in the semifinals, but head coach Andrew Beam was looking to get that team right back on track. And in the process, they had what looked to be maybe a hiccup game, potentially leading up to their big matchup against Downey. Well, they're playing a team in Sonora, 0-2, looking to get their first win of the season. Andrew Craig's team, they're just trying to rebuild. So one team looking to rebuild. On the one side was Sonora. On the other side, it's Escalon, looking to send a message to the whole area. We are the top dogs. We are one of those teams that's going to be playing deep into the winter months. Well, this is your chance to show us Escalon High School, and we go to the tape. Highlights, Escalon and Sonora. I had a chance to call this game. Blessed for that. 7:05 mark, 3rd and 9. First quarter, Ty Harris under center. Gonna hand it off to the bruiser back, Luke Anderson, going through everybody and still going. Anderson, 23-yard touchdown run. Extra point is good. 7:05 to play in the first quarter at that point. 7-0 Escalon High School. That running attack is deadly, but so is the passing game. And this is why, because when you got Caden Christensen out there in the flat, you can use him in a whole bunch of ways. And Christensen is gone. 38 yards on the swing pass. Touchdown, 14-0 Escalon, just like that. But don't you count out the Sonora High School football program, because they're still going. It's Justin Morgan on the middle fake, and Morgan's still going and gets leveled by Christensen on defense. No points came of it. They went for a 4th down conversion, didn't get it. But they're right back trying to move that pile, and literally, Nick Crockett had a great game. This time, running the football as a quarterback, 13 carries, 60 yards for the entire contest. Nick Crockett now at the goal line, 1:35 to go in the second quarter. Up the middle, it's McKernan with a touchdown. At that point, it's 14-6. They do not get the extra point, but hey, Sonora hanging in with it. All they got to do is end the first half on a high note. 40 seconds to play in the first half. All they got to do is avoid any big plays. They don't. Ty Harris up the middle. Boom goes the dynamite, baby. Touchdown reception is good. Trejo, his first of 2 TD catches. You'll see the second one in a couple of plays later. At that point, it is now 21-6 Escalon High School. Sonora could not give a big play there, but they did in the process. That is not something you want to do. But then they fumble on the return possession. And right back at the doorstep, it's Escalon. And right back into the end zone is Mr. Anderson. Luke Anderson, 1-yard touchdown run. Extra point is good. It went from 14-6 people to 28-6 in a span of less than a minute of football. So, third quarter, Escalon back in the shotgun on offense. Harris, right, this one intercepted, and it's Bauer off the tip pass. So, hey, you got to give Sonora credit. They were still fighting in this contest. They did not go down without a fight. 28-6 off the Bauer interception. Great job there. Ty Harris, one of the few mistakes he made in this game, his only interception. 10 of 18, 188 yards, 3 touchdowns, and like I mentioned, 1 INT. But Harris gets the ball back because Sonora is unable to make anything of that turnover. Harris looking left. Harris, he's got Trejo, and Trejo shakes a tackler, shakes another tackler, and he's in the end zone. Second touchdown for Trejo, receiving in this game. 6 receptions, 115 yards, 2 TDs, 34-6 at that point. It's now 35-6, but you got to give Sonora credit. They did not go down without a fight. Under a minute to play, under center. They're going to hand it off to Fernandez, and Fernandez is in the end zone. 35-13 is going to be the end of this one, but you got to give Escalon credit. Escalon shows that they are the real deal. 35-13 Escalon over Sonora in this one, and Escalon shows a lot of people that maybe thought they would be got into a trap game against Sonora leading up to that week 4 matchup against Downey, that maybe they would get caught up, but not the case. Escalon just really taking it to Sonora in this one. And they did it in spite of numerous penalties. Over 10 penalties in the first half. Over 188 yards of total penalty offense. Yet they were still able somehow to put up over 30 points on the scoreboard. And really, they're a great football team. But if they're going to go deep, they know they've got to cut down these penalties. They know they cannot make the same mistakes they've been doing in some of these games. And this is with getting off to a slow start. Escalon was able to still put up 35 points on the board. But give Sonora credit. Haven't won a game yet, but they're still fighting. They're still competing, and that's what it's all about at the end of the day. So, Escalon taking care of business at home. They remain undefeated, 35-13. When we come back from break, we've got Game 4, Week 4 previews for you here on NorCal Sports TV. Who's winning? Who's got the advantage? We'll find out soon, right after this.
The public transit system has really supported my education. That's one thing that the Tuolumne County Transit System provides, is a sense of community.
So I needed to find a job, and people told me about Motherlode job training. They helped me with my resume. I got to see where openings were, and I found a great job at Black Oak Casino.
Ever since I started coming here to Sonora, the Sonora Transit System has been a big help in me getting to my appointments. If it wasn't for the transit system, I wouldn't be able to get around very easily.
We welcome you back here to the NorCal Sports TV weekly recap show. Keith Joganais here with you once again, getting ready for Week 4 of the high school football season. And we're going to have a slew of games for you all weekend, Friday and Saturday, here on NorCal Sports TV. All you got to do is follow us on YouTube, and you can watch these games live, and you can watch these games for free. So if you're in a road team, or if someone's playing that you know that is on the road, you can watch them right there in person. We're going to be through the whole area for Week 4. But let's get on with the previews here. Game 4, Week 4 of the high school football season. We'll start out with the Somerville Bears at 1-2 and the Houston team at 1-2 now. A Houston team that was 2-1, but now 1-2 because Houston had to forfeit their win against Stagg due to an alleged player having, ineligible status due to paperwork, something of that nature. We don't know the whole ramifications of the story. Connor McGill, who's an alum here at NorCal Sports TV, went to Houston High School. He's been filling us in as the days have led up to this situation. But nonetheless, 2 1-2 teams, and really the third straight road game for head coach Sean Leveros and his Bears. On the road, they've been good. On the road, they've been bad. Against Galt, they were phenomenal. The running game was excellent. Jaden Brocchini didn't make any mistakes throwing the footballs. He didn't throw any interceptions. But last week against Ripon Christian, 2 interceptions. And again, that defensive pass coverage has been atrocious. They gave up over 200 yards again through the air. They gave up 3 touchdowns through the air as well. So if they're going to have any chance to beat Houston, Somerville has got to do a better job of tightening up their defensive pass coverage. And it also comes down to the quarterback. Brocchini has been amazing. He has got to take care of the football. And at the same time, they've got to get Veach back on track rushing the football. He only had 15 yards last week running the football. So those are some keys. And if Somerville is able to come out the way they did against Galt, they can win this game. But if they come out they did against Ripon Christian, this is a game they might not win. So we will find out shortly how Somerville will respond as they go on the road for their third straight road game against Houston. Moving on the docket, the 2-1 Sheldon Huskies will now travel to Turlock to take on the 2-1 Turlock High School Bulldogs, a rematch of last season's contest where in Elk Grove, Sheldon at home winning against Turlock, and a lot has changed since then. No longer is Joe Catalco the coach at Sheldon High School. Now it is Dave Phelan as head coach, but still Sheldon thinks they have got a great chance to go deep in the postseason. That's because their signal caller, Sean Nixon, is the real deal at quarterback. This kid can throw the football and he can run the football. His father, the offensive coordinator for the Huskies, Chris Nixon, had a long, historic run as head coach at Elk Grove High School, now offensive coordinator to Dave Phelan. So these two Nixon guys on the family tree really have a chance to make their mark on the road with a big-time road win against Turlock. And for Turlock, they're trying to recapture what they did last Thursday against Tracy High School and have another big-time win. In order to do that, they've got to make sure that Logan Fife does not turn the football over. He had 2 interceptions against Tracy. Sheldon is a team that has racked up 5 interceptions through the first 3 weeks of the season on defense. So Fife has got to take care of the football because we know on the other side of the defense for Sheldon, they can make some turnovers. And if you make turnovers in any football game, there is a good chance you might not walk out with a W. So Sheldon looking for a win in the rematch against Turlock, this time on the road. On the flip side, as we go to some JUCO matchups that we'll have for you here on NorCal Sports TV. 0-1 Sierra traveling on the road against 1-0 Modesto. The Pirates last week winning their opening contest of the season. On the other side, Sierra losing to San Fran 37-29. They were down 23-0 at the end of the first quarter. Danny Velasquez had 3 touchdowns for the Wolverines. If he gets going, there's a good chance they can win this game. But if they fall into a hole the way they did against San Francisco, they are not going to come out on top of this one. So it is important that Sierra gets off on the right foot in this contest, and we will see more of that as it unfolds this weekend. Sierra traveling to Modesto. Our final game on the JUCO docket, College of the Sequoia Giants, 1-0, going to Chabot to take on the 0-1 Chabot College Gladiators. Chabot losing 26-3 in their opening game of the season. Only 1 field goal was their entire point spread the entire time. They've got to score more points. On the flip side, Sequoia was in a barn burner, beating Feather River in overtime, 30-27. One team scored a whole lot of points. The other team did not. That's what it comes down to. Usually you want to use week 1 to get those nerves out for your offense and make sure that your offense is on track. That did not happen for Chabot. So they're going to use week 2 now as a tool to try and make sure that they can score points and that offense is running smoothly. We'll wait and see. College of Sequoias 1-0 on the road against Chabot, at home 0-1. And that is going to do it. We will wait to see how these Week 4 matchups play out here on NorCal Sports TV. I'll be calling a game, and we know you guys will be watching. And like I said, you can watch for free and live any game this weekend at NorCal Sports TV on YouTube. We will have a whole bunch of games for you this weekend. For Keith Joganatis inside the beautiful Access Tuolumne studios, I am here for NorCal Sports TV, signing off again, wishing your team the best luck in their favor and the best odds going forward in Week 4 of the high school football season. Play on, and we'll see you soon. Have a good one.